Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like the Dapper Dawn, giving them all dressed like $1,000,000, diamond things in its cuffs. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Oh, yeah. Everybody listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together. Steve Harvey. Oh, listen, Steve Harvey. Why don't you join in? Yeah. Steve Harvey. Get on, y'all. Better give me some eggs while I listen to Steve Harvey. Yeah, won't you join in with me? Come with me, help me say. Turn your radio on. You gotta. Turn it on. Yeah, turn it on. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. I know y'all can hear me on. Turn it up. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. Yeah. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn it on. Turn them up, got to turn them up. Steve Harvey got to turn them out. Got to turn them up. Steve Harvey turn them on to the morning, y'all. Come on, Steve. Come on. Do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. You are listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only. Steve Harvey got a radio show. Yeah, you do. Steve Harvey got a radio show, but like I said the other day, you got something too, though, don't you? God done something wonderful for you. You just got to thank him for it. You know, in the midst of all this going on in my life and in your life, you know, I always use myself as an example because, that way I guarantee 100% I know what I'm talking about. Here's the situation. You know, with everything that's going on in my life and all the things I'm asking God for, in the midst of a taxing and a very trying situation that's very challenging for me right now, man, God just keeps on surprising me. He keeps doing things. And I want you to look at your life for a second. Let's make two columns here. Let's make a column of all the things you want from God. You know, just do that throughout the course of the day. You know, run down the list of all the things you're asking God for, all the things you're praying for, the things you aspire to, your dreams, your visions, whatever it is. Just make a column, a list of all those things. Let's make 3 lists. And then the second list, I want you to make a list of everything that you've been asking God for. So I guess that could be a little bit of the same. But this third list, I want you to do a checkoff point. I want you to make a list of everything that God has given you that you've asked him for. Just think about it like that for a second. I may be explaining it a little wrong right now, but I'm going to pull it together for you. Make a list of everything you're asking God for. Just list it. You know, it's okay. It's a dream board. You can call it that. I got one. It's a vision board. You know, everybody's got something you hope for. Make a list. Now, I want you to make another list of everything you've asked God for that he's given you already. See, this is a good list because sometimes, and what I've been guilty of, and maybe you too, in my request list on my dream board, I keep focusing so hard sometimes on the what I'm yet to receive. I keep focusing so hard on the what I hope he gives me. I keep focusing so hard on the things that are yet not fulfilled in my life that sometimes as he starts checking off my wish list, the things I've asked for in the past that have come to pass that he's given me, I sometimes, in praying for what I want, forget to thank him for what he's done for me. And I'm currently in the middle of that situation. And this morning when I woke up, I just got on my knees this morning and I quit tripping for a second. I said, man, hey, God, you know what? I really do need all them things I'm asking for. And I really am believing that you're going to give it to me. But in the meantime, though, man, have I overlooked some important details here. I had to really look at what he's done for me. I mean, look, man, take yourself out of it personally and look. Well, you can leave yourself in it however you want to be. Some people can't do that. So just leave yourself in it then. But, man, I started looking at the I part of me. And I started looking around at what's happening overall. Like, man, he has kept my family together. In spite of the attempts to tear it apart. I look at all of that. I look at how he's blessing my children with the desires of their heart, which I pray for my kids. You know, I want my kids to have a better life than I've had. I really, really do. I don't want them to take as long as it took me to get it together. I really, really don't. I'm trying to say, hey, man, if you go to college, this is what you can be. Don't do like your father did. Don't go 3 years, drop out, throw yourself into a spiral, and then got to start scratch all over again. You know, and for the most part, so far, you know, they're doing quite well of it. You know, they're getting kicked around a little bit, but that's life. I started thinking of the blessings that he's helped me overcome with some of the previous mistakes I've made in relationships in my life. And then I started looking about the things he's blessed me with that I've been asking him for, but since I've moved on from it, I forgot to keep thanking him because I got to always thank God for a roof over my head because guess what? When I was asking for the roof and I didn't really have it, then he gave me one. Now, since he gave it to me, I'm just cool now? I can't ever go back to him and go, hey, man, I really do appreciate this roof over my head because there was a time when I was living in a car. But see, so every morning I wake up, I got to remember the fact that I have a home now because I got to look back and go, man, that was time, Steve, when you didn't have no home. But see, we forget what God has done for us because in our column, the want column, the need column, we oftentimes forget for the columns and the check marks that he's already fulfilled in our life. You've got to take inventory every now and then, daily if possible, but I know we humans, we're not going to do that. I don't. But you've got to take inventory of your life to say, hey, what has God done for me? You know, and remember something else too. Change is good, but change is challenging. Accept the challenge that it is. Look, a lot of you come up to me all the time and say, Steve, man, thank you, man. Boy, you in the morning, man, I really be needing that. Well, like I done said it 100 times, but I'm going to say it again. Y'all, I be needing it too. You know, you understand? Sometimes what God is dealing with me is for me. But now I'm in a sharing position where I can open up, and if I just quit being so about me and become a little bit more transparent, I can maybe some of me that's happening to me is happening to you, and you could see some of this in me. That's why I use myself as an example because, man, I'm catching it too. Y'all, I ain't perfect either. So for those of you that come up to me and say that, I want you to understand these talks in the morning, man, this is important for me because, man, I need these conversations from God. I need God to continue to strengthen me, to show me the way, to help me understand what's happening to me. And see, as we've all, those of you who have made the decision to change, to become a better person, a better woman, a better boy, a better girl, a better man, for those of you who've made the decision to change is a challenge. And accept the challenge because it's going to come. Because right out of that, here come the haters. Here they come. People you don't even know. Discussing your life and your change. If God see you really, really mean what you say, in spite of what they say about you, God will raise you above the fray. He'll keep promoting you. He'll keep blessing you. He'll keep moving you up. He will use you as a show-off point. He'll show you off, man. He'll make you look good to people, man, who wish you'd fall all day long. And so to all your haters will end up just watching you rise, man. They will watch you continue to grow. That's what God will do for you, man. You can fool the world, but you can't fool God. God know your heart. He know your every thought, man.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your undivided attention, please? This is Steve Harvey Morning Show, as it is every morning. Excited to be here, thrilled to death. Absolutely in awe that we are so blessed that we keep being awakened to get this new opportunity to do this thing. So let's do this thing. That's what I said. Today's show, let me see who I'm dedicating today's show to. Today's show is dedicated to people. Oh, this is a good one right here. Today is dedicated to people who always want attention for everything they do. Do you know somebody that no matter what they do, they want a lot of attention heaped on themselves?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
They
we
do
all
it.
do.
Want a lot of attention for it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not true, Sean.
Every kid I know.
Oh, you mean we all know somebody like that?
Yeah.
Oh, we know
Okay,
that.
good.
you
Well,
asked.
that show is dedicated to those people this morning that want a lot of attention for anything they do. This show is for you. Shirley Strawberry.
Attention seekers, attention seekers. We see you. Good morning, Steve. Welcome back.
Carla Farrell.
Be seen, people. Be seen. What's happening? What's happening? Good morning.
Junior boy.
Morning, Unc. Morning, Shaw Brothers.
Oh, you got specific?
Oh, yeah,
They
I
like
let them know.
attention.
It's
They
their
like
show.
attention.
It's their show.
The Shaw Brothers.
Yeah. Kevin and Steve.
What do they do, Junior?
Oh, if they barbecue for you, they got to tell you about that. If he cut your hair, he got to tell you about that. If they buy you something to drink, they got to tell you about that. That's them.
Yeah, that's okay. Just don't buy me anything.
Yeah,
If I
don't
got-
feed me.
Yeah, I gotta hear about it.
Well, I have been traveling, and things have changed. And your boy today is broadcasting from Ghana
Oh.
in Africa,
That's big.
one of the beautiful
That's big.
countries in Africa, Ghana. And so I may be posting a picture of something important that I'll be involved in on tomorrow. So stay tuned. I will let you know if I do this or not. Stay tuned. You dig?
We dig, baby.
Okay,
we,
huh?
dig
We dig.
from the motherland.
My brother.
I know.
yeah.
He went all 70s on us, didn't he?
Yeah.
How long is that flight from Botswana to Ghana?
Yeah. From Botswana to Ghana is about 5 hours, but you lose. It's a 2-hour time difference.
Oh,
so
got it.
that's the only thing. I think it's 5-6 hours, but you gain 2 when you come this way. So
All right. Coming up at 32 after the hour, Sister Odell will be in the building right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right. Well, our girl, Sister Odell, is in the building. Without further delay.
Oh, here she come. Not the mic.
All of them. All of them.
Ooh.
My Lord, intimacy. Lord. My Lord.
Yes,
God
ma'am.
is good. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Sister Odell.
Sister Odell.
Morning.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. How's everybody doing? Hi, Carly.
Hey, Sister Odell, how you doing?
Good morning, Shirley.
Well, good morning, Sister Odell. Happy World Kindness Day today.
Junior boy.
Morning, Sister Odell.
Well, good. Would you say this is World Kindness Day?
Yes, Kindness Day. Yes, ma'am.
Well, is that gonna be okay for you? Is you gonna be able to manage yourself today?
But of course,
Okay.
yes. But of course, what
Well,
about
'cause
you?
You know, Shirley, sometimes, sometimes, Shirley, now you're not as kind as you should be.
Is that true, Sister Odell? Have I ever been unkind to you?
Oh, yes, Lord, that's true. But I tell you, I've never really celebrated Kindness Day because I just don't, what? Because, everybody's not aware of Kindness Day, so I got to be on ready set.
At all times.
You always are, Sister Odell. You always are.
Just in case, hey, snap, crackle, pop.
You stay ready.
Well, Sister Odell, speaking of that,
In the words of my daddy, if you get ready, if you stay ready, excuse me. Now, you know what it is that's over here, I'm in Africa,
Oh,
Steve
Yes,
and I
ma'am.
took so much malaria medicines, that I just don't know what to, and you don't even have to do all that. That's a myth about over here. I ain't seen a mosquito.
Oh,
Really?
It's just a doggone shame. The things they say about over here that ain't true. It's a beautiful country. It's lots of city living. The peoples are sweet and kind, and the television is good and radio, and the food is excellent. It's just a wonderful place.
okay.
All
All
right.
right. Well, that's good. That's
That's really
encouraging because I've never been to Africa. I would love to go.
Well, it's an interesting place. They look, they look just like peoples over there. I could have swore I seen two of my husbands the other day.
Which ones? Which numbers?
Let me see. Think back. I gotta kind of add it up because it's been 11 of them. So I think I saw number 6, and I think I saw number 9. Harold, I know I saw Harold. He looked just like Harold. And then I think I saw Rayford. And I said,
And what? You said what?
I said, oh, Lord Jesus. Hurt me so the fire.
But it wasn't them. Thank God. It wasn't them.
Mm.
Wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what I wanted to ask,
And
Sister
you know
Odell,
something else
y'all?
I think it is over here?
What? What is it, Sister Odell?
It's a delay. Like I'm hearing y'all, it's a different system over here, so I'm hearing y'all late and y'all hearing me late, and it's making one of us sound stupid.
Okay. Well, now that we've cleared that up, we see where the problem is. Did you want to know what's going on over here in America? A lot of stuff.
I sure do. What is going on? Because I ain't been there in a minute, so what is it, sweetie?
Well, I just wanted to tell you this because you may be able to relate to this, her reaction anyway. The rapper Trina out of Miami, the baddest bee, she calls herself. Well, she was in Walmart over the weekend.
In Walmart?
Yes, ma'am. She was in Walmart doing some shopping. She accidentally bumped into a white woman, and the white woman called her a black N-word bee. And needless to say, Trina went in on the lady. She did.
Well, a white woman called a black woman that's a rapper, cussed at her?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. She sure did.
Well, let's hear the good news of this story right here, because this look like this going to have a happy ending.
Not for the white woman, I'm afraid. She ended up leaving. Someone called the police. The police came. Trina, of course, she was not having it. She just was not having it. And rightfully so, rightfully so. It turned into a big mess, and she decided not to press charges or anything. But, I mean, just imagine that happening. It was just crazy, And we got to, sorry to say, Sister Odell, move on. Thank you. And coming up next, Junior in for Tommy.
Well, it figures, with this delay and everything, it just sounds too crazy, I think, for me. I'm already slow. Now I got a delay,
Junior will be in for the nephew who's out because of shoulder surgery. We'll talk about that when we get back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour in entertainment news, Steve has a major announcement about the 2020 Sand and Soul Festival. Plus, Miss Ann is standing by with today's national news. But right now, Junior is in for the ailing nephew. He's recovering from surgery. He had shoulder surgery, as we told you all yesterday, and he should be recovering nicely. And Junior's in to run that prank back for the nephew. Junior, what you got?
You married your brother.
Kind of said it like the nephew.
That's how he says it. You married your brother. Huh? Watch this. Watch this. You married your brother. Run it, cat.
Hello?
Hello, I'm trying to reach Carmen, please.
This is she.
Hi, Carmen. My name is Keith. I'm calling you from Insurance Group.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Good. You and your husband, what is it, Harvey, is that right?
Yes, it's Harvey.
Okay. You guys actually put applications and actually went in and got your physicals done for life insurance, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. I actually am calling you from the insurance group. I have you all's lab results and everything as far as your physicals and blood tests and things of that nature. Is there any way I could possibly talk to both of you guys at the same time, you and Harvey? Is that possible?
Well, sure. He's at work right now, but I can get him on the phone.
Okay. It would be it'd be kind of easy if I kind of explained everything to both of you guys at the same time. If that's okay.
Okay. Is something wrong?
No, nothing's wrong. I mean, I think I need to just try to bring a few things to you guys' attention, but I think, after that, it's pretty much you guys' decision on what you do. But I just wanted to let you know a few things about, the results and things of that nature, life insurance, the whole 9 yards. Okay.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me see if I can get him on the phone.
Hello?
Hey, babe.
Hey, sweetheart.
Look, I got the insurance people on the line. They want to try to get both of us on the phone to talk to us about the insurance stuff.
Oh, cool. Good. Hey, Harvey, how you doing? This is Keith from Insurance Group. How are you?
Hey, good. What's happening, Keith?
Good. Listen, I wanted to give you guys a call and kind of follow up. You guys did physicals and blood tests and the whole 9 yards, and I wanted to give you guys a call. It's kind of better if I talk to both of you guys at the same time. So do you have a minute that we can actually use to kind of get some of this information out to you?
Yeah. I'm fine, man. I'm on a little break right now. I'm good.
Okay, great. First of all, we've gotten all your lab results back, everything, and I kind of got a few questions for you guys that I'm a little puzzled on. How long have you guys actually been married?
Well, we've been together about 3 years.
Yeah,
3 years. Okay, now, prior to being married 3 years, how long did you guys know each other before you got married?
What'd you say, babe? About 5.5, 6 years?
Yeah, about 6 years.
Okay. You guys have been knowing each other pretty close to 9 years now.
All together, yeah.
Okay. Are you actually from the same hometown? Did you grow up in the same hometown?
Yeah, we grew up. I'm sorry. Is this question? Is this about the insurance or?
Well, there's a few things that's actually puzzling, Carmen, that we need to. This is some news I actually didn't want to bring you guys, but I have to actually give you this news. Looking at our records, looking at all the test results, and let me be the first to tell you that we run these results over and over and over, trying to make sure we are completely 115, 20% right, okay?
What's the problem with the test?
Well, looking at our test, guys, Harvey, Carmen, it's indicating that you guys are related. And 9 times out of 10, you guys are siblings.
What?
Hold on, man. What?
I understand the shock. It took everything I had to make this phone call. I did not want to make it. But looking at our records, and we went over these records over and over, and the blood work tells us that you guys are actually siblings.
Man.
This don't make no
You
sense.
kidding. Oh, what the
Are you serious?
Ma'am, I'm
me and
very
my
serious.
wife, you know
I
that,
would not.
right?
This is not a laughing matter, not a joking matter. You know, like I said, I did not want to call with this information.
Well, you did make the call, man.
Look, you need
Oh,
to go
this-
back. I don't know what you need to go back and double check your records or something because we've been married 3 years.
Check with the lab, man. Can you check with the lab and call us back and let us know they made a
what,
mistake?
Harvey, I knew those questions would come up, and we went over it. We went over it and over it and over it.
Well, y'all need to go over it again because that don't make no damn sense.
Hold on, baby. I got this. You make the call, and this got to be wrong. So what you need to do is make another call and call the lab and call us back and let us know that you either or they made a mistake or something. You talking about me and my wife.
And I understand it, Harvey. Harvey, let me ask you this. Is it possible, and this is just a question. Is it possible that your dad and maybe her mom maybe knew each other at some point? And
What the you say about my mama and dad?
That's some straight. Look, you need to go back and do whatever you need to do. But I tell you what, you say some like that again, I tell you, my baby's gonna be coming down there and beat your for saying some like that.
Hey, hold on, baby. Baby, hold on, baby. I got this. Hold on. I got it, baby. How the you gonna call me with this? Where the you from? I don't know where the you from where people do like that, but that ain't
all I'm doing, sir, is bringing you the results.
Why don't you bring me the results in person, and I bet I whoop your.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, sir, even if you beat the messenger, at the end of the day, that's still your sister.
At the end of the day, I'm gonna whoop your.
Look, I don't care what the you talking about. He ain't my damn brother.
Hold on, I got it. I'm gonna find out where the you are, whatever cubicle you in. You gonna call me talking about we brother and sister? It's my wife.
I understand that, sir, but somewhere down the line, somebody made a mistake, and you guys, a brother and sister, got married. I'm not at fault for that.
Well, let me tell you this. Don't you make the mistake of calling either one of these numbers again in your life.
Sir, I got one more test result I do need to give you.
Oh, you got more test results.
All what you've been talking about been what else you got to say now that's going to be worse than this?
The only other test result I have, ma'am, is that this is nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You just got pranked by your girlfriend.
I told you ain't like her.
Wait till when I
told you.
Hey, I got one more thing I got to ask both of y'all. What is the baddest, and I'm talking about the baddest radio show in the land?
Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Huh?
Here we go.
Didn't you marry your brother?
Boy, you the best.
Come on now.
Boy, you the greatest.
This coming from Ghana. Come on.
Am I getting it to you?
You get it to me from Ghana.
Over here.
Man.
International, baby.
What?
I'm talking about international.
International
I'm talking about
food.
respect, adulation, love,
Everything.
honor,
Come on.
gratitude to know you.
Come on now.
How your little ragged ass shoulder doing?
Right now, I just came out. I shut it down in operating room 5. Show was off the chain.
Yeah.
I'm talking about cha-cha-cha-cha.
In surgery? You did that in surgery?
Come on now, I'm food everywhere.
Are you in any pain right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, you know, nephew in pain.
All right, Junior, thank you. In for the nephew. Coming up at the top of the hour, some entertainment and national news right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, so you have a major announcement about 2020 Sand and Soul Festival. Let's hear it, baby. Let's go. Drum roll, please.
Major announcement. So here's the deal. Being the traveler that I am and being as knowledgeable as I've become over the years, that God has given me an opportunity to see some wonderful places around the world, my wife and I, and some of my family members, but mostly my wife and I. We've been doing this Sand and Soul. Now, listen to this, everybody. This is what I want you to know, because I want to talk to you about the Sand and Soul Festival 2020.
Not 2019. That's coming on. I want to talk to y'all about Sand and Soul 2020. I've been putting on this festival a lot of comedy, some concerts, empowerment, relaxation at luxury all-inclusive resorts. I've been doing it now for the past 3 years, and it just keeps getting better and better. Now, we just hosted this last year's event, and it was absolutely off the chain. Now, me and Marjorie was out on the dance floor with y'all. My girl was out there in the pool with Lisa Ray. I heard about that. That was not playing. They ended up hosting a pool party out there, but y'all was clowning out there in that audience on the Showtime at the Apollo night. And we just had a lot of fun, man. I mean, man, I saw some old friends. I actually brought down some cats that I went to college with, man. I had a real, man, I just had a good time, y'all. So and what I want y'all to do, go over to my Instagram and my Facebook page, and I want you to check out the video that you can see what I'm talking about that I'm releasing from this year's event. But now, next year, we are all doing all of this, but we are going to add a couple of things. Due to popular demand, and we listened to our audience, they've been loyal, and so they told us what they want. So we've been doing some thinking, and we moved in and we shift some stuff around. We adding an all-new sexy, all-white dinner on the beach with live music. And then this year I've watched my clientele. I said, man, you know what would be slick? We love spades. We love bid whist. We love dominoes. I said, doggone it, Steve, while we down there clowning, when it get nightfall, we gonna have us a spade, bid whist, and domino tournament with cash prize. Oh, man, we just gonna sit down and do what we do. Marjorie's gonna have an exclusive design items at her beauty bar. It's about to go down. But now I want to let y'all know something. We got the dates and the location already secured for 2020, so you can start planning early. The 2020 Sand and Soul Festival is headed to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Punta Cana. Man, for the Labor Day holiday, September 3rd through the 7th. Only thing changed is the dates. We are going to the luxurious Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Punta Cana. It's just we decided to go back. We've listened to our customers. We're well aware. Everything has been rectified. We've got great reports. Tourism board is happy about it. Everybody's excited. We are going back. All right, listen to me, everybody. Right now, you can call us at 1-800-684-2825. That's 1-800-684-2825. Now listen to this. We are running our early bird special right now through Christmas, all the way through December 31st. You can secure your spot. So call us. This is a bomb diggity Christmas gift now. You want to give this Christmas gift to somebody under the tree and tell them we're going to the Sand and Soul Punta Cana. Give the gift of Sand and Soul for the holidays.
All right, Steve, thank you. Time for today's headlines. Just take it on over to Miss Ann, Steve.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ann Tripp.
Thank you, Steve. I'm really looking forward to that weekend. It sounds good. This is Andrew with the news. Well, after weeks of closed-door hearings, the impeachment inquiry into the House goes public today, as we were talking about all week and last week. The chairman of the House Intelligence Committee is Adam Schiff, and he says that'll probably be a good thing.
Those open hearings will be an opportunity for the American people to evaluate the witnesses for themselves, to make their own determinations about the credibility of the witnesses, but also to learn firsthand about the facts of the president's misconduct.
Adam Schiff is warning his colleagues, though, against trying to expose the whistleblower whose complaint sparked the original probe into Trump and the Ukraine. The Supreme Court heard arguments yesterday on the Trump administration's effort to get rid of one of President Obama's signature programs, DACA, or the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. DACA protects some 700,000 people brought here illegally as children from being deported. Donald Trump announced 2 years ago that his administration would be ending the program and its protections, but lower federal courts have not allowed that. The high court's now being called on to decide whether the way the Trump administration has been trying to weaken the program is in compliance with federal law. The decision expected by next June. Some observers down there say it looks like the right-wing majority of the high court is going to agree with Donald Trump. On another matter, justices have decided not to stop a lawsuit brought by the families of the Sandy Hook victims against the Remington Arms Corporation. Those are the makers of the semi-automatic rifle that was used to murder scores of those young elementary school children and their teachers in Newtown, Connecticut, back 7 years ago. They are suing Remington. McDonald's now is being sued. McDonald's has been hit with a class action lawsuit in Michigan, accusing McDonald's Corporation of enabling a culture of routine sexual harassment and abuse of women employees by their male co-workers. And the American Civil Liberties Union is among the organizations supporting this suit. There's word that there are other women, other female McDonald's employees in other states that may also sue that corporation. Doctors say there have been no complications, luckily, from the surgery that former President Jimmy Carter underwent yesterday to relieve the pressure on his brain caused by some recent falls. The widow of the late Maryland Congressman Elijah Cummings has resigned as chairperson of the Maryland Democratic Party. That announcement is coming amid speculation that she's thinking about running for her late husband's House seat. Baltimore State Senator Corey McCraig right now serving as interim party chair until election is held to find a permanent replacement. And today is National Starter Rumor Day. Happening every day. Now back to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Well, as they say, no good deed goes unpunished. We told you about Trina, the rapper, and the incident in Walmart. We told you about that yesterday. Well, Trina was on TMZ Live yesterday and talked about that heated Walmart confrontation with the white woman who called her an N-word B. The whole thing started with Trina trying to help her, not because she bumped into her. Take a listen to this.
That wasn't what happened. I didn't bump into her in the store. I actually was in the store shopping. This lady was way across in the kids section, like shopping with clothes. And she was just crying. She was boohoo crying. And I just looked over and was like, oh, hi, are you okay? And she looked up like a demon, demonic, very evil, satanic witch. And she was like, get away from me, you. And I looked and I was a little like confused a bit. And then I walked away. And then I turned around like, wait a minute. And I looked at the guys that were stocking up like the racks. And I was like, did you see what she said? And the guy was like, did I think she said what I think she said? And I was like, yeah. And I turned around and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And so I kept on moving around. And there was so many people coming up like, yo, this is so crazy. We heard her. We heard her. As I got ready to walk towards the register, I saw her again walking, just strolling through the aisle, nothing in her basket. And as I got to the register, my friend said, you owe my friend an apology. And that's when she just looked around acting belligerent, like, why are you guys asking me anything? I don't know what you're talking about. And I said, say it again. You called me a and I am a one that will whoop your ass.
Okay. Are we clear?
What?
Are we clear?
Yeah, if you want to meet one.
That's really what had happened, okay, out of Trina's mouth. She went on to say she did not inflict any physical harm on this woman, which she notes likely would have resulted in major legal trouble for herself instead of the mouthy racist customer. So there you go. She was smart enough,
well,
not to put hands on her.
Trina for being smart enough to not physically do anything. But man, at the same time, I ain't got no problem with what she did. Because man, sometimes, man, people just get sick of that. Here's a girl trying to do something helpful for somebody, and then you snap with some racial tirade because you ignorant. Sometimes, man, just ignorance, whatever, man.
All right, coming up at 34 after the hour, Supreme Court justices are split over the termination of the Dreamers, the DACA program. We'll talk about it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, in trending national news, the Supreme Court justices appeared split on Tuesday on whether to allow the Trump administration to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, in other words, the DACA program, an Obama-era policy that protects some nearly 700,000 young immigrants from deportation. Supreme Court justices with the court's conservative majority indicated that the Trump administration provided enough justification in ending the program. More liberal justices, including Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Sonia Sotomayor, questioned the rationale for ending the program and probed whether the White House appropriately considered how this would affect DACA recipients and their families, employers, educational institutions, and communities. I mean, what is really going on here? Steve, this is crazy.
You know what? This administration has a really, really bad case of, if I destroy and talk about you enough, it'll make me look better. They just have a bad case of that. You know, this right here, they've been holding these young kids and all these recipients of DACA hostage since this administration started. They've been holding these people hostage as a political tool to get what they want. It was the wall. If you don't give me the wall, I'm not going to give you DACA. If you give me the wall, I'll let them stay. All of this is that, man. It's just a hateful society that we have. It's a hateful administration that we have. They're not here to work with anybody. They're not extending their hand across the aisle. It's come in and refute, repeal everything that Obama has done, so to try to eradicate all the great things he did, because Obama did a lot of great things, but he's trying to get that stuff erased from the record books so nobody will know how great of a president he was. But what he does not understand is that history will bear the truth when this is all said and done, that Barack Obama was one of the great presidents in the history of this country, if not the greatest, and Donald Trump will go down as one of the worst. It's going to all come out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah. Like you said, Steve, President Barack Obama created the DACA program back in 2012. He wanted to shield these young immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children from deportation. And immigrants who meet certain qualifications are given protection for 2 years and are also granted authorization to work in the U.S. The Supreme Court's opinion is expected next year, just months before the 2020 election. How timely.
And
wow.
it's just like Steve said. It's just like this. It's almost like a game, a political game, because you know they're going to use this issue to talk about immigration for the election, right?
Yeah,
when
that's
the Supreme
all it
Court
is.
going to.
Yeah,
it's just a game.
play
He's
to his base.
playing with people's lives.
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah, you know, and the sad thing about this is this base that everybody keeps talking about. This is what's alarming about this country. This is what's really alarming. This so-called Trump base. Because all I'm seeing is a group of people who is allowing him to do anything he wants to do, get away with anything. I mean, first of all, to have this man as an example for your children as what a president should be, that right there, I'm sorry, man. I don't know who could say, this is who I want my child to grow up to be like Donald Trump, and then reveal what everything he is. Okay, so you want him to be patriotic but don't pay no taxes. You want him to jump through loopholes. You want him to surround and hire himself with people who are in prison. You want him to not have a heart for other people, to not to show compassion for his fellow man. You want him to never have served people, but you want them to then turn around and try to lead and guide people. So you want your son to grow up to have relationships with porn stars and parade Playboy bunnies around his house that his current wife lives in. That's okay with you? I'm sorry, man. That base, something's wrong with that.
Couldn't agree with you more, Steve.
That's so profound.
All right, you can post your comments on this story about DACA at Steve Harvey FM on Instagram and Facebook. Coming up, Junior is in for the nephew once again with today's prank phone call coming up right after this.
Huh? You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after, it's my strawberry letter for today's subjects. He wants to keep it in the family. All right. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. All right.
Wait till you hear this
Not really
letter.
cool, but...
Yeah. Wait till you hear this letter. He wants to keep it in the family. Right now, Junior is in for the nephew who is out because he got his roller coaster cuff, as we were calling it yesterday.
Yeah.
Operated on. Yeah, he's post-surgery
Roller coaster
right
cuff.
now. Yeah. Prayers going out to nephew. Anyway,
Prayer
Junior's...
healing. Get well soon.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, today's prank phone call, Junior's got it. Junior, what you got?
Let me channel time. Here we go. Shirley.
Yeah.
Every now and then people go crazy, So today's prank is Calvin done lost his mind.
Oh?
I'm going to say it again. Calvin done lost his mind. Run it, cat.
Hello.
Hello, I'm trying to reach a Bree, please.
This is Bree.
Hi, Bree. This is Officer from the Dallas Police Department.
Yes.
Okay, wanted to give you a call, ma'am. We have your husband, Mr. Calvin.
Uh-huh.
Is there any way you can actually come down to the police station today?
Are you sure it's my husband, Calvin?
Is he Calvin?
Yes, that's my husband.
Okay, we have Calvin. He's been picked up for a Class C misdemeanor. And I wanted to see if you're able to pick him up. We're not going to press charges. There is a $250 fine that needs to be paid, but I'm giving you a call. He asked me to call his wife to see if you would actually come and pick him up.
So is the $250 fine due as soon as I get there?
Yes, we do need the $250 fine.
Oh, okay, Lord, because I don't have it. I'm going to have to call his mom and get it. But what is he there for?
He was indecent exposure, ma'am. He was in a park. Are you familiar with Lakeside Park?
Yeah.
Okay, he was out at Lakeside Park, and he was indecent exposure. He had no clothes on. He was with another person, another female out there, and they had no clothes on.
Wait a minute. Hold the hell up. You are making a big mistake, because Calvin's supposed to be at work. That's where the hell Calvin's supposed to be, not at a park. So you saying that you saw him? Were you the detective that caught him?
I'm not the.
Saw him?
It's not a detective. There was actually a police officer, ma'am, that actually brought them in. They both were brought in here about 2 hours ago. He's been processed. He has been processed, but we need somebody to actually come pick him up now.
Okay. Well, tell me, who is the female? What's the female name? Did y'all arrest her too? Is she there with him?
She has been arrested. She's actually on the other side of the jail. She's on the women's side.
Okay, can you give me that name?
I do not have her name in front of me. I will be able to have that a little later. But right now, I think more importantly, he's actually sitting in a holding tank with no clothes on. So
Wait a minute. I mean, Calvin done lost his mind. I'm not coming to pick him up for no that. Let me tell you what you need to be telling Calvin. You need to tell Calvin that he need to come up with $250 to get his out that just got himself in, and then he need to come up with some more money to pay for this divorce, because I'm handing him these papers. And you tell him, I'll do it for him. I'm going to call his mama, and she can come get his I know well Calvin have his fat no walk with his clothes down. Now, where he get this old freaky from? If I was for all they got to see that, you know that's what they taking now. You know what? Yeah, I'll call his mama, and I'm going to tell she ain't going to believe me, because I want her to bring her down there. She always on his side, you see. She always on his side. So I want to take her on up there and see her son with his head up there naked, and then she let him explain that. Yeah, but you tell Calvin, you make sure you tell him that I said that he get himself out this situation. I'm not coming to get his, and he ain't bringing his back here. Let him bring his back up here if he wants to.
Okay, Miss Bree?
Yes.
All right, I just got some paperwork in here about who the actual female he was arrested with. She was also out there at Lakeside Park. And let's see here. It seems like we got a Miss Francis. Who? Francis.
You sure you found a Francis out there naked?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, do you know a Francis?
Yes, I know Francis. That's my sister.
Okay. Well, can I say something else about your sister? Can I tell you this?
Go ahead.
Francis has got me to prank phone call you, baby. This is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Bree, you just got pranked by your sister Francis.
Oh, Lord Jesus. If I tell you what I just done on this phone, I can't tell you the radio. Goodbye, Francis. I was getting ready to come up there and knock all four eyes out. And I know damn well Calvin went up there naked. I mean, he's not doing it like that. I mean, they don't even really get along. I mean, I'm like, is that what that's all about? Really? Shoot, man. I ain't got time for all this. I'm going to get Francis. Thank you, though.
Hey, can I ask you something, Bree, baby? What's the baddest radio show in the land?
Oh, the Steve Harvey Morning Show. How about this for a surprise, Francis? If you listen, I'm going to whoop your ass, okay?
Huh?
See that?
Boy, hey man, how you do this with your greatness to me is sheer, boy. How can I honor you?
You gas him up, Uncle Steve.
Keep doing what you're doing. See, that right there is honor. You know.
Praise him.
Come on.
Praise him.
It's like
I'm talking. Praise him.
Come
Lift
on.
him higher.
Come on.
You better have some church over you.
Hey. Calvin done lost his mind. There it is. Shirley, Carla, what is y'all quiet for?
Yes. Oh, you're the king of pranks. You're the king
You know
of
I
pranks.
got to have this every day.
You're the king of pranks.
This show dedicated to me. Attention
you play
seekers.
too much, Junior.
Okay.
Yeah, you getting it though.
No, I can't sit up here and just be by myself.
I hope no one mistakes you for Tommy one day when they're fed up. Though.
Yeah. No. I'm taller.
Because you do Tommy so well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They not gonna mistake that. I'm faster and taller.
Oh, Junior.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about that cop in Arkansas? He was naked on the dance floor. He got suspended. He was drunk at the club.
What?
Wait a minute.
Yes.
What, Carla?
What?
What
It
happened?
was a cop in a club in Arkansas. He was naked and he was drunk
Oh, he
on the
had to be
dance
drunk.
floor. And so the police
Yeah.
pulled him on out of there and he got suspended.
That's
so since we
moonshine.
was talking about
Yeah.
cops.
Yeah.
I
That's
wanted to bring
moonshine.
up
Do
to
that.
you.
Clarence, what are you doing? For crying out loud. Your uniform on, Clarence.
I know.
Come
I
on.
haven't even seen that in
Put
a
the
movie.
uniform on, Clarence. What are you kidding me? Oh, for the love of God, Clarence, what have you done?
Yep.
And he was a brother too, Steve.
Oh no. His name is Clarence.
Yes.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yes, that's what's so funny.
Hell no.
Hi. Set us back.
Yeah.
Boy. Yeah. I had
But
to
I
bring
wonder if
that
he
up
had his
because you were
shoes
talking about
on.
this cop.
Yeah, his boots on.
Girl.
Wow.
No, sure. He had the belt on.
Oh,
No, he had
just-
nothing on.
That is so crazy. Wow, that's
I mean,
crazy.
He was getting busy though. Wow.
Yeah.
But you the
Well,
king, Junior. You the
Yeah.
king.
Thank you.
This
Thank you
is
very
normally
much. Need all that.
this is normally the nephew's time. In case you don't know, the nephew's out today. He had major surgery on his shoulder. His rotator, as Jay called it, his roller coaster cuff, had to be operated on. So he's out of surgery, and our prayers are going out to Tommy and his family for a quick and speedy recovery, nephew.
Yeah.
All right, coming up at the top of the hour, like I said, Strawberry Letter. He wants to keep it in the family as a subject. We'll get into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And if you need advice on anything, relationships, dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to Steve Harvey FM and click Submit Strawberry Letter. We could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one right here, right now, today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Strawberry Letter with my good friend Shirley Strawberry.
Thank you, Kier. Junior. All right, here we go. Subject, he wants to keep it in the family. Dear Steve and Shirley, I have been married for 7 years, and we have 2 young children. After having my second child, my desire to have sex decreased, and it was a big problem in my marriage. My husband is a great dad and my best friend, so I felt bad for him. I started back having sex with him, but I was never really into it like I had been in the past. I confided in my sister because she has a newborn too. Her child's father broke up with her while she was pregnant, so she's going through her own issues. I wanted to support my sister, so I told her to go out with her girls and I would babysit for her. I let her borrow my car and gave her a little extra cash. My sister came back to my house at a reasonable hour, but I was asleep, so my husband let her in. She was supposed to stay overnight at my house, but she didn't. I called her to see why she left, and she started crying. She told me that my husband greeted her at the door in his bathrobe and invited her to sit and have a drink with him. She's not drinking because she's nursing, so she told him no thank you. She said he told her that he has always wanted her and that he wanted to spend a little time with her. She told him that I was right near them in my bed, and he assured her that I wouldn't mind because I'm not able to fulfill his sexual needs. My heart was shattered, and my sister felt violated. When I confronted my husband, he said it was just a joke because he had been drinking all night. I haven't decided how to handle him and this situation. As I stated, I have 2 young children to consider. He says it will never happen again, but now my sister will not come anywhere near me, my house, or my kids. Do you think this is something I can overlook? What should I do? Please help. Well, first of all, you don't have to do anything, okay? You didn't make this situation. They did. They need to fix this. You left a major part of the story out. You left us to assume and conclude that they slept together because you said your sister started crying and she felt violated, and now she won't come near you, your home, or your kids. I just think this is really, really sad that they had to take it here. And no, absolutely not. Should you overlook this? You asked, is this something you can overlook? No, you know this isn't anything you can overlook. Your sister, she's always going to be your sister. You're married to this man who, you didn't say, but we're left to assume violated your sister in some form or fashion. Even if you and your husband were having trouble sexually, for him to go to your sister, I mean, it's just unthinkable. You were betrayed by both of them. She told me that you said she told you that your husband greeted her at the door in his bathrobe. Okay, that was wrong right there. And told her he's always wanted her. Really? This is so wrong on so many levels. What should you do? You have 2 kids to consider, but, if you divorce him because he did this to your sister, I'm assuming you did leave that out, but it sounds like he did. You'll be okay. You'll be a single mom for a while, but you sound like a really good person, especially the way you treated your sister. You'll be okay. Sounds like you have a little postpartum going on. A lot of women suffer from this after they have babies, so you might want to get that checked out medically. And deal with the rest of this stuff after you take care of yourself. That is my advice to you. Steve?
Well, it's a crazy-ass letter. Well, let's just start with the bottom of the letter, which I very rarely do. But the question is, do you think this is something I can overlook? What should I do? Please help. Well, lady, you're awful calm about this. That was no, I was furious in the letter. I snapped and went off. You just trying to figure I'll deal with him later. My sister won't come over and talk to me. You're the calmest person that this has ever happened to. Now, with that out the way, it's so much in this letter that don't make no damn sense, but then it do. You had sex. You used to have sex regularly. I'm assuming that Shirley said throughout her response that she's assuming something happened and you left this out. To me, you ain't leave nothing out. You didn't type it, but it's all in here. So let's go. You used to have sex with your husband. I guess you enjoyed it. Y'all got the second baby. You stopped having desires for your husband. You felt really bad for him. Then you started having sex with him again, and then you wasn't really into it, and it had an effect on your marriage. So then you told your sister about it because she got a newborn too. Now her baby daddy done left her, so she ain't got the same problem you got. 2 totally different problems. You having trouble sexually, getting back into it. She ain't got nobody to get into it with. See, 2 totally separate problems. You told her sister about it. She got her own issue, so you wanted to help her. You told her to go out with her girls and you was going to babysit for her, and you gave her a little cash. Then your sister came back to your house at a reasonable hour, but you were asleep. Your husband let her in. She was supposed to stay overnight at the house, but she didn't. That's when all the hell broke loose. When we come back, I will discuss Shirley thinking that the man was wrong for coming to the door with the bathrobe on and a couple other things right after this.
All right, hang on to your response, Steve. We'll have it coming up, part 2, At 23 minutes after the hour, today's Strawberry Letter subject, he wants to keep it in the family. We'll get back into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, come on. Let's recap today's Strawberry Letter subject. He wants to keep it in the family.
Well, this lady had a good marriage, married to her best friend, 7 years, and had 2 kids. And then after the second kid, she lost her desire to have sex. It created a problem in the family, their marriage. She felt sorry for him. So she felt sorry for him, started having sex with him again. But she wasn't really into it. She was talking to her sister and confided in her sister, who had just had a newborn at 2. And then, but her child's father broke up with her. So we have 2 separate problems. We got a problem with you, the writer of this letter, a woman who don't like having sex with her man, and your sister who can't have sex because she ain't got no man. Okay, these are 2 situations we're dealing with here. Okay, so you told her to support her, that you was going to have her go out with the girls and you babysit. Borrowed your card, gave her a little extra cash. My sister came back to your house at a reasonable hour, but you were asleep, so your husband let her in. This where it all went down at. The husband let her in. She was supposed to stay overnight at your house, but she didn't. Then you called her to ask why she left. Soon as you said that, she started crying.
That's how it go.
Why you calling me? Why you calling me? Why you calling me? You must have known what I did. You know what I did. Okay. So she bust out crying and then told you that your husband greeted her at the door in his bathrobe and invited her to sit and have a drink with them. Now, Shirley said in her response that the man was wrong for coming to the door with the bathrobe on. I don't see where he's wrong in that. You got bathrobe on at your house, you go to the door when the doorbell ring. I've been to my door many times with a bathrobe on. Here go the problem, though. Sit and have a drink with him. Now, I don't know. And then you said she's not drinking because she's nursing. So she told him no thank you. Now, right here, you know what that means? She ain't drunk. She ain't been drinking at the club because she nursing. He invited her in to have a drink. She ain't drinking then. So how we got to this situation, everybody is clear. Everybody, he ain't drunk, she ain't drunk, everybody is clear.
Clear.
So now, she told him no thank you, because she clear. She said he told her that he's always wanted her.
Right there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand how you having this conversation while she in the house. Your wife is in the house. I don't even know how you having this conversation, but you did. I don't know how she listening to the conversation, but she did. And that he always wanted her to spend a little special time with her. Then she told him that she was right near them in my bed, and he assured. Now, your sister is clear now. So she must have wanted him too, because guess what she said? My sister in there, she gonna hear us. He assured you that you wouldn't mind because you ain't able to fulfill his sexual needs. My heart was shattered and my sister felt violated. What? Wait a minute, hold on. Your sister felt violated, why? So when you called and she started crying and she went into the, you ain't gonna believe what he did to me. No. Seems like everything was consensual. Now, your sister through her tears says he violated me. Now, if he violated her for real, then these is charges. We have a whole nother problem if he forced himself. But violated, in this letter, I don't know exactly what that means, so I'm going to just stay away from that. Let's just say they had something sexual happen. Okay. When I confronted my husband, he said it was just a joke. Girl, come on now. What? Girl, you crazy. Oh, look, you talking about last night. Girl, I was just crazy. It was crazy. She came in here and we was just joking. I slept with her. Okay.
Yeah, that's real funny.
I have not decided how to handle him in this situation. As I stated, I have 2 kids. What the 2 kids got to do with this, handling this situation? Somebody should have been cussed out. Somebody should have got jumped on. And it's just a matter of who you was cussing and jumping on first. Now your sister won't come over at all, be around you or the kids. Because she done slept with your husband.
Whew,
so
risky.
I'm confused. I don't know what the hell we writing for. Risky, never mind.
All right, listen, you can post your comments on today's Strawberry Letter at Steve Harvey FM on Instagram and Facebook. And check out the Strawberry Letter podcast on demand. Now, coming up at 46 after the hour, Kanye West is on the move again. He'll be at Lakewood Church in Houston this coming Sunday. We'll talk about it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Kanye West will be a special guest at Pastor Joel Olsteen's Lakewood Church this Sunday at 11 a.m. That's the time of the service in Houston. Kanye will have a 20 to 30-minute conversation with Pastor Joel Olsteen. Multiple news outlets are reporting that Pastor Joel wants his congregation, which stands at about 45,000 strong, and his TV audience, which stands at 10 million in the U.S. alone, to hear how Kanye has overcome significant adversity in his life. Also, Kanye will be performing with his choir during an evening service, so that should be good.
You know what? I actually, I'm very, very supportive of Kanye in this move. And here's the deal: the way I look at it, I know he's catching a lot of flack because it's controversial, because people think some of his actions do not measure up or make him worthy of the adulation he's getting for this album because of some of his other actions. But I disagree with that. I think that we are all flawed human beings. I think that we are all trying to get it right. And I applaud Kanye for trying to get it right. Just like I'm trying to get it right. But to be honest, just like, ain't we all trying to get it right?
Yeah, we are. Progress.
Absolutely.
Every single day.
Can anybody claim perfection here? Can anybody sit up here and act like they on this whole high horse, they don't make mistakes, and they ain't had lapses of judgment in their life? I think no, man. I think this dude is on track, man. And you may not like some of the things he say, but I'm guilty of that myself. But I just applaud what he's doing. I really do.
Well, I don't know how long, if he'll be invited back to New Birth Missionary Baptist Church anytime soon. You heard what Pastor Jamal Bryant said. He said he loves Kanye between the songs. This viral video.
Oh,
of him,
that was who that was.
Yeah, that was Pastor Jamal
Mm-hmm.
Bryant. Yeah. Yeah, he said to say that you unashamedly support Donald Trump. He called the mother continent of Africa a collection of S-hole nations, smacking the entire diaspora in the year of the anniversary of the year of the return. I don't align with the statements of Kanye West. I don't endorse it, nor do I subscribe to it. And I am not a runaway slave. To that end, Mr. West made a significant donation to New Birth Cathedral, but I do not want to be guilty of double speech. I met with my team today, and the donation that he made to our church, I am now redirecting. I am going to be giving that donation he gave to Morris Brown College. Wow. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll discuss more. I think, Steve, you have more to say on this whole Kanye situation. So we'll talk about Kanye a little more at the top of the hour right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Steve, you wanted to say one more thing about Kanye. You had some more thoughts on the Kanye West situation?
Look, I'm not taking sides here. I think that everybody has the right to feel how they want to feel. Mm-hmm. So I'm not passing judgment on a way a person feels. I will say this, though.
it's hard for a lot of people when you talk about the love of God and then you support a person who doesn't exhibit those qualities. You know what I mean? It's such a hateful administration that we have right now. We have such a administration that's filled with deceit and so many lies and so much corruption and so much, man, just dogging people out. It's hard to support that type of rhetoric and that person, as you claim the traits and the teachings of Jesus Christ. That's kind of a hard tug. So I do understand. I do definitely understand where people are coming from with that. At the same time, I think Kanye is new to this. A newborn Christian or whatever the phrase is you might want to use. I don't know. And in this, there is a development that has to happen in a person. And you have to come into being a better person. We all know that God ain't through with us yet. So I think that we're all faced with this battle of trying to become better and better as people. I don't think he's at his best yet. I certainly not at my best yet. I'm trying, but I ain't. And so I just think we have to be a little bit conscious. So I think it is kind of sending a double message. I'm happy for Kanye that he's finding his way spiritually. But when you make statements about black people, about Democrats being slaves to welfare and things of that nature, that's not a true statement. That's not a true statement at all. I hate to tell you this, but there are Republicans on welfare. You cannot make statements about slavery and you're not being well read and well versed. And because you have the ability to stand and say the things that you're saying right now, it's because our ancestors died for us to have this freedom of speech that we have today. And we got to always honor them in everything we do because they're the reasons we exist today. That I just wanted to say that about the Kanye situation because I understand that people is coming out against him. I really, really do. At the same time, I want to keep applauding the brother for, trying to get his life together spiritually. It's better to be in the news for this than what he was in the news for. So the change is actually happening. I just don't think he's as well read and well versed on history and politics as he should be. Anybody agree or disagree?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I hear what you're saying.
I agree with that statement,
Yeah.
that last statement for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And part of Kanye's thing is he's misunderstood, too. I think he means well. He just doesn't articulate it, Yeah. I do think he means well. But anyway.
And it's just like Steve said, he's not fully, if you're not educated on the particular subjects and information that you're talking about, especially when it comes to history and our heritage and our people, you just can't fire off.
Yeah.
Random statements.
Something crazy.
Exactly. Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Slavery was not an opinion.
What did you just say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
or
really,
choice.
man.
Yeah, I think
It's
he
not-
deeply cares. He's a deeply caring
yeah.
person. He has a heart and all of that. But
Yes.
it's just misplaced.
Agreed.
Slavery was not an option.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a choice.
It
No.
wasn't. So you can't say that. Man, you got to be a bit more conscious. But once again, when you think you deeper than you are.
Yes. I can't take all that deepness anyway. Too deep for the room. All right, listen. Coming up, more music, more fun.
Too deep for shallow mind.
More deep stuff on the Steve Harvey Morning Show at 20 minutes after the hour. We're too deep. Oh, Steve, you're too deep, baby. You're too deep.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, President Trump's Walk of Fame star has fallen under attack from yet another angry American in broad daylight, no less. The suspect casually approached the Hollywood Boulevard star on Tuesday morning. She reached into her bag, pulled out what appears to be white spray paint, and then painted Putin's B word.
What? On the Star?
On the Star, Junior. She was in and out in just seconds. Police are investigating.
Oh, she gone.
People don't like,
Just got out her can.
his affiliation with Vladimir Putin and the whole Russian connection. They don't like it. There are a lot of Americans who are very uncomfortable with that situation, and I guess she was one of them, and she decided to let it be known. Well, in other trending news, 2 game show hosts are battling some serious issues. This is some sad news here.
What?
Alex Trebek of Jeopardy.
Sorry.
Pancreatic cancer, of course, and Pat Sajak of Wheel of Fortune, we talked about this yesterday, had surgery on a blocked intestine, but Pat said the worst is behind him, and he will be back if Vanna White doesn't take over, and we are still praying for Alex Trebek. He had to go in for more chemo, and we said all that to say, Steve, host of Family Feud, keep it healthy, baby. Take care of yourself. Keep it healthy.
Take care of yourself, baby.
Hang in there.
What the hell is you trying to do with this? Ain't no
Hang in there,
epidemic with game show hosts. What the hell are you talking about, Shirley?
Marvin Steve Harvey Morning Show coming up at 33 minutes after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, in trending national news, the Supreme Court justices appeared split on Tuesday on whether to allow the Trump administration to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, in other words, the DACA program, an Obama-era policy that protects some nearly 700,000 young immigrants from deportation. Supreme Court justices with the court's conservative majority indicated that the Trump administration provided enough justification in ending the program. More liberal justices, including Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Sonia Sotomayor, questioned the rationale for ending the program and probed whether the White House appropriately considered how this would affect DACA recipients and their families, employers, educational institutions, and communities. I mean, what is really going on here, Steve? I mean, this is crazy.
You know what? This administration has a really bad case of, if I destroy and talk about you enough, it'll make me look better. They just have a bad case of that. You know, this right here, they've been holding these young kids and all these recipients of DACA hostage since this administration started. They've been holding these people hostage as a political tool to get what they want. It was the wall. If you don't give me the wall, I'm not going to give you DACA. If you give me the wall, I'll let them stay. All of this is that, man. It's just a hateful society that we have. It's a hateful administration that we have. They're not here to work with anybody. They're not extending their hand across the aisle. It's come in and repeal everything that Obama has done, so to try to eradicate all the great things he did, because Obama did a lot of great things, but he's trying to get that stuff erased from the record books so nobody will know how great of a president he was. But what he does not understand is that history will bear the truth when this is all said and done, that Barack Obama was one of the great presidents in the history of this country, if not the greatest, and Donald Trump will go down as one of the worst. It's going to all come out.
All right, coming up next, our last break of the day and some inspiring closing remarks from the one and only Steve Harvey at 49 minutes after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, here we are, our last break of the day. Again, the nephew was out today. He had surgery on his rotator cuff, shoulder surgery. He has been putting it off, did he say yesterday, Junior, for 7 years?
Yeah. No, it's 8 years. 8 years.
Yeah, so he finally went and had it done yesterday.
But we don't know how he did it, though.
What do you mean?
How he tore it. We don't know.
Oh,
How he
yeah.
got his injury.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
He don't play sports.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Well, his son blocked his jump shot.
We're praying for a speedy recovery for your nephew, though, Steve.
Yes,
you can go ahead.
I'm telling you.
A lot going on.
You know, let me say this in my closing remarks. You know, and I'm probably gonna be all over the place with this one because I want to talk about a few subjects. Kanye West should be applauded for his change, his evolution as a person, him trying to get it right, him trying to inspire others with with a spiritual message. So I think he has to be applauded for that. I think what people have to take away from this, is sometimes when people are talking, you got to take. Look, man. There's nobody out there that's perfect, but we in the public, man, we have to be super, super careful because people scrutinize every single word, and every time you open your mouth, it's not just a blog, but it can very, very easily become a press conference. And so I think, man, those of us that have a fame attached to our name, we have a little bit of extra scrutiny attached to it. And it is the way it is. So in that comes with a certain amount of responsibility. Because we are, I think we have to be very, very conscious. Because we have people's attention. And we just have to be well versed about what we're talking about. And we got to be conscious that we are talking and sending a message to the people who aided us along the way. We've got to have messaging out there that helps those that are less fortunate. I was listening to Bishop Jakes had a sermon, and I think I'm saying it right. It was called Intentionality. And what the whole sermon was about a person's true intentions. And what Bishop Jakes was saying in his sermon that people judge you by your actions. God judges you by your intent. How many times have all of us did or said something that when it came out or it went out, it kind of made us look bad? Because, people took it and ran with it the other way. They judged our actions. Well, he went up there and he sat with him and he met with him, and it just makes us look so bad. But God judges us by the intent. God knows the reasoning for it. I think that Kanye's spiritual change is a good change. I think that some of the things he's saying has to be reviewed very carefully, because as we have this notoriety attached to our name and people can scrutinize everything we say, we got to be a little bit more factual. And so it's kind of hard when people are hearing you talk about this change, but they're seeing remnants of something else. I guess I fall under that category. That's why I'm a little bit patient with Kanye. I don't like some of the things he says. I don't agree with some of the stuff he says. But I guess I'm trying to watch him because God ain't through with him yet. He may evolve and become a better person. He may wake up and realize one day, wait a minute, man, this is not working out. And, could come to task. So I think the lesson for all of us is that we are slowly becoming the person that we should have been a long time ago. It takes some of us longer to get to where we're trying to get to than others. Some of us got to take the long way around. Some of us just flat out hard-headed. So I'm being a little bit more patient with Brother Kanye, because there is some real value to what he's doing in terms of spreading the message of spirituality. I just think when you mix it with politics, it can get a little ugly, because politics has such an ugly side to it. It really, really does. And this current administration is filled with so much deceit, so much political posturing. We holding up the lives of DACA students. We want a wall built up. We want to ban travel in 7 Muslim countries. We just do so many things, man, that don't represent us as the American people and the people that we really are. So I'm just saying to everybody, let's be a little bit patient with him. He's coming along. I think he's making some mistakes, but ain't we all? And I think there's a lesson for all of us to learn in this. That as we're on our own journey, that we will make mistakes. Our mistakes, a lot of people's mistakes won't have the glare of the spotlight in the microphone, but that's the added responsibility that comes with the person that has notoriety attached to your name. And like I said, I knew I was going to be all over the place with this. I'm just saying, I guess the bottom line, I'm going to be a little bit more patient with him. I love the music and what he's doing. But, you know, he's growing. And he's just one vote. He's just really one guy. You know what I mean? I think we have other work that we can tend to that would be a lot more effective. So if we were to just treat each other better, and if we would be a little bit more respectful of one another, and I just think there's work for all of us to do, and I don't think the attention should be on Kanye West. He's just one person. What that matter does he say? He got one vote. Let's just make sure we go vote with our one vote and cast it the right way. Those are my closing remarks today. Sorry about being all over the place. Those are my closing remarks. Bye.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit SteveHarveyFM.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.